Greetings everyone and welcome to BrickCats. Today I am featuring Worm by Riley, a famous LEGO MOC that has achieved meme status. As always, please consider leaving a like, subscribing to the channel, leaving a comment, or supporting what I do in any other way you see fit. I greatly appreciate it. Worms, of course, are the ubiquitous garden creatures notable for their ability to break down organic matter into soil and to feed robins, especially after a rainstorm. Since this MOC consists of a single piece, there aren't any reasonable substitutions, and I was only getting one store and about 2 cents before shipping and tax, or roughly $6 including in shipping and tax depending on the store. In my reviews, I offer my opinions on aesthetics and model features, parts issues you might want to look out for, the build experience, the model's integrity, and I close out with my overall impression and pricing information in the conclusion. If you're watching this review, I assume that you are familiar with Bricklink's ordering system and LEGO nomenclature. I only use genuine LEGO bricks and I always purchase the instructions. I create these reviews for my own personal enjoyment and in the hopes that my advice will make your experience more enjoyable and or less expensive. The designer has chosen to make a statement with the simplicity of this build using a single 1x4 brick in yellow. I personally have not seen many yellow worms, so this might be a species not endemic to my area here in Northern Virginia, or maybe it's a bit of artistic license like the classic castle in yellow. In terms of features, there's not much to talk about. The lone brick doesn't have any articulation or any other features to speak of, other than the 4 studs on top and the 3 anti-studs on the bottom. This model requires one element and one piece. The yellow brick is widely available on Bricklink, and I think this model does have a pretty high degree of customization. For example, you could make a shorter worm with a 1x3. You can make a longer worm with a 1x6 or even a 1x8. You could even make a worm that articulates with the hinge plate. Unfortunately, I did not have one in yellow, but you could also use a hinge brick here. And all of these retain, especially these 4, retain these 3 rather, retain the general look of the original, while this one is just a little bit more fancy, if you will. And of course, the bricks come in a very wide variety of colors, so if you ever wanted a worm in medium nougat, for example, you could do that. And there are a couple of options for making the worm more realistic. For example, the ribbed hose piece approximates the actual texture of a common garden worm a little bit better than the 1x4 brick. For a smoother, smaller worm, you could use flexible hoses, or even tiles, such as the 1x4 tile. And if you wanted to go kind of for the same abstract sense, you could use plates, which are thinner and a little bit closer in size to an actual worm, at least in the height dimension. And of course, these plates come in all different sizes as well. Finally, if you are a Technic fan, you could use Technic axles or lift arms. You're definitely a little more color limited with Technic, and they don't articulate like bricks, but Technic axles at least have the advantage of being able to fit through Technic pieces with holes in them, and that opens up the possibility for larger MOCs with wormholes and things like that. There are no instructions available for this model. However, if you're savvy enough to order the lone piece off Bricklink, you'll probably be able to figure it out fairly easily. Instructions would be nice for those who like to have some directions to follow, but apparently Riley was 12 years old when they designed this MOC, so maybe he or she wasn't able to master Studio yet. With a single brick and no articulation, this model is very sturdy and is suitable for playing by people of all ages. LEGO bricks will stand up to almost everything, including a realistic MOC with actual dirt. So what this MOC lacks in detail, it certainly makes up for in durability. Worm by Riley is certainly a unique MOC, but it's inexpensive and basically indestructible. It will not look out of place on a kid's floor or displayed on your shelf, although you may want to make it clear that it's an actual MOC and not a loose piece that gets swept back into the bin. Since it's so cheap to buy the parts off Bricklink, using Pick-a-Brick is not going to save you much money unless you're buying enough to get free shipping. Even then, you're likely going to pay the handling fee as you won't meet the $14 minimum without buying 88 of the 1x4 bricks. So I suppose if your goal was to do some kind of garden MOC, this might make sense for you. Thanks as always for watching my review of Riley's Worm MOC. If you built the model, you have something to share that I left out, or have a question about something I didn't cover, please leave them below in the comments. Remember to leave the video a like, subscribe to the channel, or follow me on Instagram if you haven't already, and I hope to see you back next time.